Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Victoria 2 as Sardinia-Piedmont. In our last episode we cemented our status as a great power, and in fact we even got up to rank 7, which is pretty nice. That being the case, we can now sphere other minor nations, which we are going to proceed to do for hopefully all of the other Italian nations. We are going to need to do that to form Italy, obviously, and the other requirement is to also take Lombardia, which we will be on the lookout for an opportunity to do. Hopefully we'll be able to pounce on Austria when they get destroyed by somebody else in a war, or maybe we can get France to help us out, or something like that. But in the meantime, we'll turn our attention to the diplomatic influence gain. We have got Modena in our sphere already, which is a good start. We are working on Parma. Actually, I believe we've been banned in Parma, which is unfortunate. We need to be a bit more careful about that. We're also working on Lucca. So let's see, we can actually probably reduce our influence down to low in Modena. Since we already have them, we'll probably bump Austria and or France down to cordial at least there at some point. But only if it looks like they are in danger of stealing them from us. Lucca, we will be safe to continue influencing here for the moment, and I suppose we can start trying to work on Tuscany as well. Yep, Austria is their sphere leader right now, but they have no influence available, or very little. So let's start influencing there too. Our other concern right now is to gear up for colonization, which won't be starting in earnest until after 1870, of course, but it's never too early to get prepared. We are researching some of the necessary techs right now. We need breech-loaded rifles, and then we're going to need state and government. And additionally, we're going to need to get some more naval techs to upgrade our bases. But we'll do that when it becomes necessary. Let's anyway unpause and continue. So unfortunately we're going to have to spend quite a lot of the next few years staring at the diplomacy screen here, which is probably not the most exciting viewing, but unfortunately it is the way it has to be. We can go to speed 4 though. I might try to play some of this on speed 5 if possible, but unfortunately you do have to keep a close eye on multiple windows here, so it's kind of tricky to do that. So we're going to have to, I suppose, stop influencing here if we get discredited, or otherwise we're just going to have to stop when Austria gets close to 50, because we don't want to get kicked out. That's fine, we are safe to keep influencing in Parma for the moment, so we will. May get discredited here as well, or they may try to go up to 50 or 65 for a ban or expulsion. Egypt fears we are coming. Well, maybe. I wouldn't mind too much taking more land from them. Russia has taken some land from Punjab, it seems. Alright, you're up to almost 50. We'll stop influencing here. We can start working on the Papal States as well. They're in France's sphere rather than Austria's. Currently neutral to them. France will not be able to immediately ban us there, so we should be able to probably get up to at least cordial. We are safe to continue in Tuscany as well. In fact, I think the best strategy is actually to go to 100 before going up to cordial. looks like neither Austria nor France are working on Modena, so I think we're pretty safe there. If we can find the time to get one of the, whichever tech it is here, business regulations that increases diplomatic influence, it would certainly help us out with this whole part of the game. So if we can do that in between getting the necessary colonial techs, we will do that. Our ban has expired in Parma, so we can go back there if we need to. Which is good to know. Still no problems here. France is actually influencing a little here in the Papal States. We should actually make some investments in the Papal States in the form of railroads if we can. So we have the money for it, and it will help us out here. Yes, we do not want to actually increase our opinion in Tuscany just yet. We will try to get to 100 first. I suppose the same in the Papal States. So our investments have reduced the penalty to our influence there, which is fine. And we have an election starting. Stock exchange. Local businessman in one of our provinces has formed a joint venture company to establish a local stock exchange, primarily aimed at the commodities trade. The venture will doubtlessly increase local productive efforts. Okay, so we're going to get extra Orgio output and lower militancy in Annecy, which is fine, and we have invented breech-loaded rifles, which also is good. So I suppose we may get state and government next, though actually... No, empiricism is not available yet, so... yeah, I guess there's... No, you know what, let's go for Raider Group Doctrine first, so we can get our naval base upgrades going sooner, since they do take a long time. We have been discredited in the Papal States by France. That is fine. We can stop influencing there for the moment, and we can continue focusing on Tuscany, it seems, since we have not yet disturbed Austria. So we're going to keep pushing for the reactionaries here, so we go for moralism. Ideally, we'll get this whole sphering process and the formation of Italy done before colonization starts, because we would like to have the extra colonization points or colonial power that we would get from controlling the entirety of Italy. But we can also benefit from it if we are a bit late to the colonization party as Italy. Fears of Khiva, okay. So we have our influence maxed out in Modena, that's fine. Once we get to 100 here, we'll increase opinion, which will probably alarm Austria, and they'll start influencing, and we'll have to turn our attention somewhere else for a while. Sure, let's go full protectionism there. Okay, we'll get Tuscany up to cordial, and we'll see how Austria reacts. So we'll keep going until they either discredit us or get close to 50. And we want pro-military here. Unfortunately, we're getting only anti-military, so we'll choose the minimum amount. So it looks like they are choosing not to discredit. Go for state capitalism. So we'll stop influencing about here. The idea here is, by the way, is that we are going to switch our attention to somebody else. Austria will stop influencing, then we'll keep an eye on Tuscany and wait until Austria spends their influence somewhere else. Then we'll be safe to continuing influencing them up until we can increase opinion, and essentially just repeat that process as many times as it takes to get them all the way up to in our sphere. So with Tuscany, we can't do anything, we're still discredited in the Papal States. Where else are we looking at? Lucca. It seems that Austria has just spent influence on discrediting Russia, which is great for us. That gives us the opportunity to start influencing here. And they've immediately discredited us, which is also fine. We can just wait for that to expire and then come back. I suppose we can start on the two Sicilies as well, though we don't have any sphered nations bordering them. So it will be probably more difficult to influence here. But that's okay. They are in France's sphere. Oh, actually, Spain has discredited us there. Well, I guess we aren't able to productively influence anywhere else right now, so we may as well keep going through that discredit. We'll go for moralism here. Actually, in fact, it would be better for us to go to a different one that we're discredited in, because we will have better ability to influence the closer nations. Actually, we are free to influence in Parma, so we should be here anyway. So we have the conservatives and reactionaries elected again, which is what we wanted. And there's an international crisis in Albania. Austria has backed the Ottomans. And yes, of course we're interested in the crisis. We're extremely important. So it looks like we're not being discredited here. We're just going to have to cease influencing about now. And we can now construct commerce raiders, which we will definitely do. Okay, so we have to leave off Parma for the moment. Okay, let's get started with some commerce raiders then. We'll just build 12 for the moment. Actually, that puts us over our supply limit, so we'll cancel a couple of these. Okay. Now let's check out this crisis. So, it seems like France is likely to support Russian Empire since they are allied. We might even be able to get into a good war with Austria in this crisis, depending on who goes on what side. UK is going to support Austria. So is Germany. Well, we don't like being on the opposite side to Germany in any war or crisis, but hopefully France can protect us if it comes to that. We'll keep an eye on what's going on there. Let's see. So we have to leave off Parma. Tuscany. It seems that Austria has discredited France here, so we can safely influence them for a little bit. Up until Austria gets to 50. Colonial progress. One of our colonies is reporting astounding successes in the development of local commercial ventures and businesses to the colonial office. So, Tunisia, we can have capitalists gain consciousness and have 1 life rating there, or capitalists lose consciousness. I guess we'll gain the life rating. Not sure what, if anything, that really does for us. Probably increases colonial migration, if I had to guess. Extra naval organization. Okay, so we're going to have to leave off Tuscany. We cannot safely influence Parma just now. We can in Lucca, but we are still discredited until April. That'll probably be where we'll go next. How about the Papal States? What's going on over here? We can actually influence here safely, so let's do that. I'll check in on the crisis. Nobody on any side just yet, so don't have to make any decisions there for the moment. We should actually increase our relations as well. That will help out with influence. A glimpse into the year 2000. A prominent futurologist has granted an insight into the distant year 2000 AD. Speaking to our futurology correspondent, he said, by 2000, each landed gentleman will own at least 5 hot air balloons. That's true. I myself own 7. Okay, so once we get up to 100 here, we can increase opinion, which will probably anger France and get them to start influencing. And our discredit should have expired in whichever other country we were discredited in by then, so we can switch over to whatever that is. Okay, extra naval speed. Still nobody joining any side in this crisis, which is interesting. Right, so getting up close to 100. We'll go up to cordial. Doesn't seem to have disturbed France too greatly, so... Oh no, there they go. Okay. John Brown's last raid. Alright. So we'll see if they discredited us, or if they discredit us rather, which they probably won't. Oh, and it's resulted in a white peace there, so no wars out of this one. No Albania spawning either. So it seems like we're not going to be discredited. We're probably not going to get to 100 before France gets to 50, though. We have just gotten our newest naval tech, so we'll be able to upgrade our bases, which we will do. Let's go for state and government now, then. Unless... no, business regulations is the same level. Okay, we'll go for state and government. Actually, it doesn't really matter when we do this, as long as it's before 1870, so I suppose it makes more sense to do business regulations, since it will help us with sphering all these little countries we're working on. Okay, it seems like France has actually been distracted from the Papal States. Oh no, they've discredited us. Okay, that's fine actually. I guess we'll just increase our opinion here. up to friendly, and then turn our attention elsewhere. Let's see. In Tuscany, Austria currently has no influence, and we should be able to safely influence there. Almost at 100 even, so be able to go straight up to friendly. And then keep going for a while. But actually we are just about out of time for this episode, so we'll actually leave it here and continue with our influencing in the next one. So thanks for watching, and join me again then.